Okay, these are the products and things that we use to do hair that seem to work the best, because our goal is to make sure that the hair is nice and tight and smooth and will stay in all weekend, so we only have to do hair one time. Hannah typically sleeps in her hair all competition weekend. So the Got to Be Glued Freeze Hairspray is really great. We use that all weekend to kind of touch up. Got to Be Glued Gel we use at the beginning, but then once again also as flyaways come out, I use that to kind of touch up too. Spray bottle with water, essential to start out with hair wet to make sure it goes in nice and tight. A comb, a brush. We use a slap bun because that's what works best in Hannah's hair, but you can also use a donut bun as well. You need hair ties, bobby pins, and then I even like to do these sort of spread out bobby pins for like when we're putting in her bun. It holds a little better. So those are the things. Before every competition, I make sure all of this is stocked up. I've got plenty for the whole weekend. That's kind of really essential for good competition hair. Okay, so I'm starting out with Hannah's hair pretty wet. The only time I would not wet her hair before I start doing it for competition is if we were doing a bump. We would want to do a bump, we would want the hair to be dry, but we're not doing a bump with this hairstyle for competition, so I just make sure her hair is totally wet. I use an ample amount of gel in my hand. You can see I've got quite a bit in my hand right here. I'm just gonna put that through her hair because this is gonna help keep everything nice and tight, and it's goopy and it's gonna be sticky, and you know, it's not pleasant necessarily, but competition hair isn't supposed to be pleasant, unfortunately. Okay, so once I get that in, I usually like to wipe my hands off a little bit with a paper towel or something. Competition, I usually bring a little towel. Comb that through. Okay, then we're doing a French braid across the top and then coming around to the back to meet into a ponytail. So I'm not gonna start all the way down by her ear. I'm gonna start about right here, going from, this is her left side to her right side. So the hair will start on the left and go to the right. I'm gonna separate out probably about 1 inch from her hairline or so. I'm gonna separate out this hair. And this is the hair I'm gonna use for the braid. If you want, you can pin this hair back, but I think her hair is wet enough that it's gonna be okay here. I'm not gonna pull any of this into the braid. I'm only gonna work with this hair right here for now. So I'm gonna start with just a little bit here. You see, I don't have that much in my hands right now, but it will get to be more as I go along. So I'm only gonna be pulling from one side here. This is gonna go into the braid, and I'm not the most expert French braider, but I'll get the job done here. And you'll notice I'm not gonna pull from this side at all. If you're familiar with French braiding, you're not gonna pull from that side. You're only gonna pull from one side. So I'm gonna pull this hair in. And then this one I'm just bringing over. I'm not pulling any hair into that at all. Then I'm gonna pull more hair from this side. Not from that side. More from this side. Just gonna do that all the way along here. And I probably could have started a little farther to the left, but it's okay. Now this hair is starting to fall into here a little bit, so I'm just gonna push it back. Okay, pull more of this. Now as I start getting to this point, I might start picking up some of this hair from over here, but I'm gonna try not to get this right here, because otherwise what happens is it gets pulled over into here, and then it doesn't make this nice and smooth when we go to put it into our pony and bun. Okay, so I'm gonna start pulling hair from down here, and I am gonna go all the way down to the ear on this side. But what I'm gonna start doing at this point is I'm gonna start, instead of it coming straight down, I'm gonna start trying to pull it back to the side. So let me just turn Hannah around a little bit. Because we're gonna try to meet the ponytail in the back with this braid. Once again, I'm still not pulling any of this into here, and I won't at all pull from the other side. Because this will lay flat once we... Okay, you can see I'm starting to curve the braid a little bit. It's starting to come back here so I can meet the ponytail. Sorry, I'm gonna pull back so we can get the camera around here to see this side. You can see how this is getting longer here as we come around. Let's see. And I'm getting taller and longer here. And I'm probably gonna just do 1 or 2 more pieces up into, and you wanna make sure this is nice and tight right here. Now if your hair is wet and gelled, it should be, you know, go up in there nice and tight. Now you can see, like back here, I'm getting close to where I'm gonna meet the ponytail, but not quite. So I'm gonna still do another bit of hair here. The pony is gonna be, you know, in the center of the head, so. Pull that, I'm trying to pull this nice and tight. Okay, Hannah, keep your head straight. Okay, I'm not quite there yet. I'll just keep coming up here until, this is probably the last one I'll need to do. Make sure all my little hairs are up in here. Okay, when I get to this point, see, you can see how I've gotten longer as I've gone along. This is all coming up here. This all smooth with a comb and hairspray and stuff, probably a little more gel, but this is meeting right about the center of her head, which is right where that ponytail needs to go. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and just do a regular braid on the rest of this hair all the way down. I'm not gonna put I'm not pulling any more hair up into it in a French braid, just braiding like normal. All the way down. This is gonna wrap around the ponytail base, I should say. Now Hannah's hair is getting a little dry down here, so I'm gonna grab my water bottle and spritz this because I don't want these hairs to, you know, start poking out. This will make it lay down nice and flat in the braid. This part's a little tedious. Now I'm starting to get where her hair is in different lengths, so I'm gonna go ahead, because this guy can hide in around the ponytail. So now I'm gonna get a ponytail holder. And actually what I like to use are the little clear white plastic ones. I don't know if Hannah has any of those in here. We forgot to pull those out. That would be another thing to purchase before competition, because this is such a small amount of hair that one of those big ponytail holders is kind of fat and makes it hard to wrap around, but that's what we have right now. So I would get those little clear plastic. Wait, Hannah has a thinner one. Yes, perfect. Even still, the clear plastic would be better. The little, you know, plastic ones that don't take up a lot of, they're not as bulky. Okay, I'll go around this one more time. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, now that I have her, sorry. Okay, back up. Okay, now that I've got that done, I'm gonna spray this hair a little bit again. It's starting to dry out because I've been working on the other hair. And I'm just gonna pull all this back. Be careful not to grab your braid in this. We wanna try to get up here nice and tight. You can see it looks a little strange on this right side because of the braid. That will get pulled up in a minute. Hannah, can you sit back a little bit, please? Just too much. Okay, and this, sorry, Hannah. This is going to sit right about where the crown of the head is. I'm gonna go ahead, and the hard part with this is making sure it's centered because you've got your braid that kind of makes it look off center a little bit, but try to make sure it's centered on the head. And I try to make my ponytail holders as tight as possible in here. So I'll sometimes go around it one more time where it doesn't feel like it could go one more time so that this will stay in all weekend. Does that feel center?
No.
Okay. Does that feel better? Yeah. Okay, I tried to pull it over a little bit. I wasn't quite center. So that's going to be the trick. Anyway, okay, now, can we come around here, Ethan? I'm going to take this hair and I'm going to fix this too. This will go in, and I can fix some of that with bobby pins and stuff. But I'm going to take this braid now. You can see it's like this. And I'm going to come up under the ponytail. And I'm just going to wrap this around. And I'm going to try to tuck this under here. If your girl's hair is shorter, you might have to wrap this as many times, but I'm going to try to hide this under this braid a little bit. And then I'm just going to bobby pin this. So let me grab Hannah's bobby pins. Hannah, will you hand me bobby pins, please? I'm going to secure this. And this isn't perfect. We probably need to practice this a couple more times before a competition. I would suggest doing that with your daughter. Or find somebody who is good at hair and ask if they can help you with your daughter's hair. And bobby pins will help keep all of this in through the weekend. So make sure you use plenty of bobby pins. All right, now this is a little bit loose right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my comb and kind of comb this flat a little bit. That kind of helps that a little bit. And then I'm gonna use some bobby pins here to pull this up tighter. And I might spend a little more time on this if I was not trying to do this for a video, but okay, Hannah. Another one, Hannah. And then what I'm going to do after I get all this done is I'm going to hairspray like crazy on this hair. Now for hip hop, I think what they're going to do is leave this in this ponytail like this. You know, I can straighten this out and I can use some bobby pins. Some of that hair got in there, so anyway, I could bobby pin right here and that would make that nice and smooth right there. Can you have me another bobby pin, Hannah? Try to find bobby pins the color of your daughter's hair. That's a good idea, so they don't show as much. Anyway, that's the hair. We're gonna hairspray it quite a bit with this Got to Be Glued freeze spray. all around. And I could even do some gel right here to make sure that this stays up. And the goal, like I said, is to make sure that for competition, this, you don't have to redo this. You can just put a hairnet over it and sleep in it. Now, if we were doing, when we're doing jazz or lyrical, where's your slap on here? Then we're gonna put this ponytail in a bun. Okay, so we like to use a slap bun. It just gets Hannah's hair tighter and we don't have to deal with, her hair's long, so it doesn't leave a big amount of hair underneath the bun. So I just pull this through until I get kind of to the edge of her hair, and then I'll kind of, you know, I'll have to rewrap some of this hair that's sticking out. This one came out. This is pretty forgiving. I'll pull it up so it's nice and tight, and then sometimes I'll have to redo it if it feels like it's not gonna let me go all the way around. So this is pretty sloppy, but it should still hide okay. You'll see what I mean. Okay, then we snap that around, and then I'm just gonna bring this hair around so that we cover this bottom part. See, it makes a nice kind of flat to the head bun. And Hannah actually can just do this by herself. Most of the time, that's what she does. It's just, and it covers up that braid around the base of the ponytail when we have it in a bun. And then I'm gonna take these fatter bobby pins that are kind of more, kind of more spread out here like this. And that's what I'm gonna use to make sure that the bun is nice and secure to her head. And actually, before I usually do that even, I will put a hairnet over this so it stays nice and smooth. I'm not gonna do that right now just because my son's battery's about ready to die on his camera. So put a hairnet around it and then put your bobby pins. We wanna use enough bobby pins to keep it nice and secure, but sometimes when we use too many bobby pins, it can get painful for the girls. So I usually put the hairnet around before I bobby pin, then bobby pin after I have the hairnet in. So anyway, there you go. This is the hairstyle for competition this year. If you have any questions, feel free to call me or find me at the studio. Thank you.